Good morning. This is Professor Anderson with part two of the feedback for your writing assignment number for the rough draft. So what I was sharing, when I ended up with part one, my screencast only takes 10 minutes, so it cuts off, was that I want you to focus on honing in your sentence structure and your paragraph structure. So focus on one concept and develop that concept. So, and instead of nailing initially the negative, focus on, because your concept is, your whole purpose of your rough draft is to persuade a decision maker, or your research-based report, not just your rough draft. But the whole purpose of your research-based report is to persuade a decision maker to implement your recommendations. So you want to highlight the positives of your recommendations. Try moving away from targeting the negative of what's going on now. Because what you want to do, your research-based report wants to persuade using facts, your decision maker that it will be better for their investment, their community, their organization to implement these recommendations because of A, B, and C, because it helps increase home property value, because it reduces disease, because it has a better curbside appeal, or whatever it is. So what you have said here is that you've taken the opposite approach of this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong and we have to do these. Perhaps you should say, we have a great opportunity here to increase this, increase that, and increase that. Because these things are happening, we can implement those recommendations. Yes, here you go. Implement the reasons for noncompliance. Assess their awareness. These are great. So the purpose of this, I love how you have your methodology here. Excellent. And you went in order, and that's very important. When you describe the methodology, it is very important to do, you're basically just sharing in your report what are the steps and what's the process that I took or did for to render this report. The methods that you did. Okay, so I would switch this because your primary research took place secondary. Your secondary research was first. So you want to just detail the process, because the reality is you wouldn't know what areas of primary research to conduct if you didn't do the secondary research. You wouldn't know to ask you wouldn't know to ask residents, did you know that your property value is decreasing because of the shrubbery or something like that? That you learned those values from the secondary research, and then the results. And I want to share with you, the reason that you put secondary and then primary is because in the results, you show the secondary results first. These are all your secondary results. And then you show your primary results. And this is awesome. I can tell you use that, that website that I love. I show my kids use that all the time. So I do too, don't get me wrong. I just think it's a very valuable. I love the way that it creates these graphics. So, and they look beautiful. So what I recommend here, one more thing for parallelism. Let's go through here. Excellent. I would do these color schemes the same as these. If there's, let's see, who are the purple? Oh, there we go. Reduction. There we go. Never mind. Okay. Good job using these figures using these images to make sure. What I recommend is, let's see. Let's see, does that importance of the aesthetic value role, property values. Okay. All right. I was going to say maybe integrate a picture with the graphic. So you have the graphic that shows, did you know the home value went down? And then show a picture where the weeds are, not growing up or growing up and hindering, show an example. So one, you show the graphic of the understanding, and then right next to it or the next paragraph, show an example of how that's happening. But the way that you have this organized of graphics first from the feedback and then visuals is perfectly fine. So what I read before, you can do conclusions and then recommendations, or recommendations and then conclusions. And you want to say in conclusion, the Sunny Meadow, I can't remember what you're called. Yeah, Sun Meadows community has an issue. The lawn maintenance program at Sun Meadows community has much room for improvement. Making residents aware of these problems will help to benefit. The recommendations are as follows. And then let's take a look at your reference. Beautiful. These look great. Don't forget. Yep, there you go. Excellent. I love how you used Google Forms too. Isn't that the greatest invention ever? It's one of my favorite things. So make sure that you include inside of here also all of your graphics need to be referenced. So you need to create a citation for your graphics. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to reading your final report.